Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com. 15 years ago, the New York Times announced the endless summer. They said the extended growing season is one of the signs of global warming. It goes hand in hand with polar bears dying in the Arctic as the sea ice shrinks. That same year, future Nobel laureate Al Gore announced the planet only had 10 more years due to global warming. And at the Nobel Prize ceremony in 2007, he predicted the Arctic would be ice-free by the year 2014.
Another new study to be presented by U.S. Navy researchers later this week warns it could happen in as little as 7 years. 7 years from now. In the last few months, it has been harder and harder to misinterpret the signs that our world is spinning out of kilter.
And since Al Gore made that prediction 14 years ago, there's been essentially no change in Arctic sea ice. And since the New York Times announced the endless summer in 2006, New York has had 5 of their 10 largest snowstorms. February of this year was the 8th snowiest on record in New York City. And New Year's Eve 2018 was the 2nd coldest on record in New York City and the coldest in 100 years. The forecasts made by the New York Times and Nobel laureate Al Gore didn't do very well. And it's easy to explain why. Barack Obama and Joe Biden saved the climate. In 2008, Barack Obama announced that he was going to end global warming by making energy prices skyrocket.
And climate change is a great example. When I was asked earlier about the issue of coal, under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket. Even, regardless of what I say about whether coal is good or bad, because I'm capping greenhouse gases, coal-powered plants, natural gas, you name it, whatever the plants were, whatever the industry was, they would have to retrofit their operations. That will cost money. They will pass that money on to consumers.
And then a few months later, Obama announced that he had healed the planet and slowed the rise of the seas.
And I am absolutely certain that generations from now, we will be able to look back and tell our children that this was the moment when we began to provide care for the sick and good jobs to the jobless. This was the moment when the rise of the oceans began to slow and our planet began to heal.
Part of the Obama-Biden plan to heal the planet was creating 5 million green jobs. Out of the 5 million green jobs that were promised, less than 10,000 were actually created. And over the past month, under Joe Biden, nearly 5 million people quit their jobs. But let's get back to how Obama and Biden saved the planet. Joe Biden promised to end fossil fuels.
But kiddo, I want you to just take a look, okay? You don't have to agree. But I want you to look in my eyes. I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel, and I am not going to cooperate. Okay?
And we can see now that Obama and Biden have kept their promises. We've got skyrocketing energy prices and a very cold winter ahead. This is what Joe Biden calls Build Back Better. It's an ambitious plan to create jobs, cut taxes, and lower costs for working families, which translates to millions of people losing their jobs and families not being able to feed their children or heat their homes during the very cold winter ahead. Toto's been pulling back the curtain on these frauds for the past 13 years. You can visit him, Kyrie, and Caesar on the web at realclimatescience.com.